This is Khanak Ban Yasharala from the Lions and the Yasharala camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kai Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakak my mouth. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. Peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And this is going to be a quick hitter on the topic of the rat race. And this is a race that we find majority of our people that try to run to find prosperity and gain in this society, which is not meant set up for us to find prosperity and gain. But we two-thirds of our people ruthlessly, find their way fighting in this race and struggling in this race just to trying to get their head above water in some kind of way. But the thing about it is they're running the wrong race, And I just want to touch on it a little bit. Lord willing, it's edifying and serves its purpose to build a body. All right, so first I want to start off with the definition of the rat race. It says a plural noun, rat races, or retraces, a way of life which people are caught up in a fiercely competitive struggle for wealth or power. An exhausting, usually competitive routine. And that's the thing. And our people exhaust themselves trying to gain prosperity, even if it's a way that it doesn't seem to be malicious or gaining power. They just want to be sustained in this society. But there's no way to be sustained in this society, because I remember, back in the day, if you made $12 an hour, you were good. But now, because of hyperinflation, $12 an hour ain't nothing. I remember when I graduated high school, I'm about to tell my age right now, but when I graduated high school, gas was 89 to 99 cents a gallon. Like, it was cool to put $5 in the tank, I give you $5 on that gas. Somebody try to give you $5 on gas, now you'll cuss them out. Because guess what? This society is controlled by the so-called white man Esau. So he creates that race that everybody's running, right? And it's just like a greyhound dog. They put the rabbit in front of the dogs, and the rabbit run around the whole track a whole bunch of times to see who's going to win, but they're never going to catch the rabbit. And that's how this whole thing is set up for us to fall. But those that are of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that don't want to go down to Egypt for help, are not going to partake in this, So, but majority of our people get caught up in the whole rat race, even if it isn't to try to gain power or try to gain status, but it's to try to gain some type of stability. So you struggle fiercely trying to gain some type of stability in this rat race, So the best thing to do is to turn your heart towards Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 11. It says, wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. All right, so that see the light of wisdom, to see the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the wisdom. All right, the word, he was a living word. The ones that he chose to come and sup with them. He will come and sup with you and give you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for you to not to have to struggle and be conformed or be tempted to run this race, which this race is not. We're running a different race. All right. Verse 12, it says, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is what wisdom giveth life to them that have it. All right. So the ones that believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai are the ones that have the defense of wisdom, because what does the scripture say? Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time. All right. So, like, riches are not going to glory in any at all in the day of wrath. All right. As a matter of fact, Babylon the Great, which is America, is going to try to use money to get themselves out of being destroyed. But what does it say in what is it, Isaiah 13, where he says he shall send the Medes against them, and they shall not regard gold or silver. And James chapter 5 says his money is cankered. So this whole society that's being set up is going to be torn down by the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. So it's best to have no parts of it. You know, it's best to flee out of the midst of Babylon. You know, and seek after Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai and run that race, the good race. All right, the race to the kingdom. Okay. All right, let me get another scripture. Let me get a couple scriptures real quick. So I can bear with me real quick. All right. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 45. It says, "My people, go out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord." All right, so we have to go out of the midst of Babylon, man, spiritually. All right, and free yourself from the fierce anger of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Because when Yahweh shows up, if you get caught running the wrong race, your ass gonna be destroyed. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because you've been forewarned and you've been told of the right way to go. But if you choose to make money your defense, oh, I gotta take care of my family. But what did he tell the apostles? He told them take no purse or anything with you. So he's gonna provide, you know, and you have to believe in that. You have to believe in that to really get an understanding of what's going on, man. If you don't believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're going to get caught up running this race. And you're not going to be doing the work when the Lord returns. Or if you are doing the work, you're doing it for filthy lucre. And that's part of this whole rat race, if you're doing things for filthy lucre. All right. Couple more scriptures. Let me get Mark chapter 4, verse 14. All right, so this is the parable about the sower and the seeds. So whatever race you're running is going to determine what seed has been rooted into you, because everybody's going to get a chance to hear the word, all right, and everybody's going to get a chance to hear the world, all right, but what seed was rooted into you? So it's going to determine what race you're running. So if the seed of the world was rooted into you, you're going to run the rat race. All right. If the seed of the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai was rooted into, you're going to run the race of glory to the kingdom of the hopeful elect. All right. This is Mark chapter 4, verse 14. It said, "The sower soweth the word, and these are they by the wayside where the word was sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh and immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. And these are they which are sown in stony ground, who when they heard the word immediately received it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure for a time. Afterward, when the affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended." All right. And they turn their back on it. All right. So, this is the point right here. 18, it says, "And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of the other things, and entering in, Shlakia, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. These are they." All right, so those are the ones that were sown by thorns. All right, so the whole rat race of society choked them, and they feel like they'd rather go get money or try to get the best job that they can get, and separate themselves from the truth. Don't get me wrong, if you get money, you have a good job, like the scriptures say. If you whether rich or poor, if you have a good heart towards the Lord, you're good. Matter of fact, let me find it real quick. Slovakia. Is it 26? All right, this is Sirach chapter 26, verse 4. It says, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. So regardless if he has money, he's still going to rejoice in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Job had money. Daniel had money. Joseph had money. Solomon had money. Even though Solomon went off at the end, but it was all according to the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're at the end right now, and we have no time to go off. All right, so whatever wage you're stuck in when Yahweh Shai shows up, that's on you. Okay? So if you're trying to run this race to get the riches and glory on this side, man, you're not fitted for the kingdom of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, because you can't love Yahweh and Mammon. All right, next scripture is Proverbs chapter 23, verse 5. It said, no, verse 4. Wait. Verse 3, it says, Proverbs 24, 23 and 3, it says, be not desirous of his, or start at 1. It says, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put not a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to an appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meats. All right, so that's what Esau does. He paints this glorious picture like, oh, if you just work real hard, you can live like this. And that's what they do, and that's a deception, that's sorcery, that's witchcraft. All right? That's deceitfulness, that's being a devil. All right? Because basically at the end of the day, let's just say you get a job making $1 million in a society, and they flip the money, they flip the currency on you. Now you're back down to nothing. So everything you ultimately do for the world is in vain, man, at the end of the day. Verse 4, it says, labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. All right, so you have to seek the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says, will thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle towards heaven. All right, and that's what it is, and that's what you're gonna find out at the end times. All right, you worked all this hard time to get Social Security, 401ks, and all this kind of stuff, but you're going to find out all that's going to be taken away when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai shows up. Even before then, because the so-called white man is going to take it away and put in the RFID chip, which is the hour of temptation. So if you've been running this rat race the whole time, you're going to take that chip. All right, let me get Sirach chapter 31, verse 1, it says, watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the care thereof driveth away sleep. All right, and that's what you do. People can't sleep at night. I've been in this situation, can't sleep at night because I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get the money to pay the rent, or how I'm gonna get the money to do this, how I'm gonna get the money to do that. You know, and that's that's consumption to the flesh. Stress will kill you. And this is what this society, this debt-based sweat equity, this society is built upon. All right. All right. Watching care will not let a man slumber, as a sore disease breaketh sleep. The rich hath great labor in gathering riches together, and when he resteth, he is filled with the delicacies. All right, the poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy. But the ones that are covered by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai are not needy. All right, because what the scripture says, it says, "I know your poverty. I know your It's like, matter of fact, I'm just getting it. This is Revelation chapter 3. No. chapter 2, verse 9, it says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And that's Amalek. Those are the ones that set up this whole rat race. All right. Let me get one more scripture to close it out. Lord willing, this is edifying, you know, to the hopeful elect in the body of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is Sirach chapter 40, verse 26. It says, riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. And that's the point. So we have to run the righteous race, not the rat race. All right. It's funny they call it the rat race because the Jew rats is the one that set it up. All right. It says, there is no want in the fear of the Lord, and it needeth not to seek help. The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden, and covereth him above all glory. It says, all right, this is a good point right here. But the main point is, like, the desiring of riches is going to kill you in this society, man. That's just it. You need to desire the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know? Just like you're begging Esau. It's like the rich man and Lazarus, you know? When the rich man was begging Lazarus for the drop of water, right? We're 2/3 of our people are now begging the rich man for a drop. All right. And I'm gonna close out with this. It says, verse Sirach 40 and 28 says, my son, lead not a beggar's life, for it is better to die than to beg. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he polluteth himself with other man's meat. But a wise man will nurture his beware. A wise man well nurtured will beware thereof. All right. And how do you nurture yourself? Through the word, man. So we don't have to go, like scripture did say, it has a curse for us to have to go to our enemies for the want of all things. But now we have a corner, a foundation to stand upon, which is Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. And so we don't have to beg Esau for the things no more. All we have to do is ask of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he will make it present unto us. Because the scripture said, whatever you ask in my name, the Father shall give it thee. All right. With that being said, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harukakadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom.